Welcome everyone to Hack Academy Active Directory Chain. So this will be absolutely amazing practice for you if you're going for the OSCP, because it will very realistically simulate an OSCP exam when it comes to the Active Directory department, right? So I definitely recommend getting in that practice. If you're also following along with the checklist, this entire chain, this series of episodes will cover so many aspects within the Active Directory chain and the Windows Privilege Escalation chain, so or the section in the docs. So I definitely recommend you updating that as you go as well and as you learn. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this series and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And I want you to absolutely crush the OSCP. So please enjoy the video and keep learning. Hello and welcome to Hack Academy Active Directory chain number 3. So these will be the starting credentials that we will be using. And essentially there will be a domain comprised of 3 machines, 1 domain controller and 2 Windows 10 clients, all forming in one domain in the hackacademy.local domain. So that's going to be the chain for today. So the first thing essentially we would like to do is to find out the route and then find the machines where they actually are in the network, right? So my network is going to be on the ETH0 interface and not like on a TAN0 interface. So yeah, let's say, yeah. So this is the mask and this is the range. So we can use netexec and check essentially if we can communicate with the IPs over SMB and use netexec to find the domains. This is a pretty fast way to essentially find the machines. And we can see that we immediately found them. This one right here is not relevant. We can see the host name right here, but more importantly in the domain field, it's just the machine name, right? But here, this is the domain controller, DC01, you can see it by host names, right? But you can see in the domain names, hackacademy.local, hackacademy.local, hackacademy.local as well. So that's awesome. We've already found all of the IPs in our domain. So let me just make a list of those. So 10.024, 7 and 9. 7 and 9. And if we do the scan once again, but instead of doing it across the range, we just do it against the specify IP list that we made. And there we go. These are the 3 machines that we'll be going after. So what I'm going to do next is essentially that I'm going to take, let's say, all of these IPs and do a full Nmap scan on them. But we won't be using target, we're going to be using -I, capital L IPs, so this is the list of IPs, and then I'm just going to do --open. While this is running, I would also like to essentially just get BloodHound up and running, because getting an overview over the domain would be very awesome before we start poking around, right? So this is going to take a bit of time to get ready, but once it is, I will get back to you, and I'm just going to run this command afterwards and set up BloodHound. And then after that, I'm going to ingest the data, and I'll show you all of that, so be right back. So there we go. This scan is finished. So let us get the BloodHound up and running. We've been given an initial set of credentials. Localhost 8080. And again, be of course mindful that this is the same port of Burp Suite, so ideally close down Burp Suite or change one of the ports. So there we go. Next thing we need to do is ingest the data. So then we need to pull the data first. And we can do that because we have a starting set of credentials, right? A domain user. So first of all, the DNS target is going to be, let's say, it's going to be the domain controller. And the IP is 10.02.4, right? And if you're unsure whether this actually is the domain controller, there you go. Here's port 88 open, and you can see that this is 10.02.4. So awesome. Like so. And like so as well. And the password is going to be pin drop. And now we have the data, right? So we can copy this to temp, and then we can go over to BloodHound again and upload the data, other occasions. And upload. So this is going to take a little bit of time, but in the meantime, we can do some other checks, right, as well. We can, for instance, pull all the domain users, like so. And we can look in the description fields for any credentials, and there's not. But it's very useful to have a list of users regardless. So let me just do it like so. That is correct. And then it's going to output it into a users file, right? There we go. So no interesting description fields. So let's just start with, and there's of course a lot we can enumerate, right? We can enumerate interesting shares, if there's anything like that, over SMB of course. There is not really, right? These are default shares. But of course, if we're absolutely completely stuck, then these are one of the last things that I personally check. Definitely not the first, right? But this is completed. So let's go and take a look at the actual data. So we can set lfaster as marked. Let's go to the export tag and lfaster. Add to owned. So member of users and domain users. And okay. So let's go to Cypher queries right here. And let's just start off easy, right? So let's find out some things about the domain. So map out all the domain admins. So we can see that it's not just administrator, there's also a user called Immorales as well. Interesting. Dsync, normal users. ASREProastable. So we have one user, ADS. We will definitely check that. Carb-roastable user, no carb-roastable users. Shortest path from owned object. Is this not interesting? Shortest path to domain admins. Default domain, enterprise key admins, yeah. So we don't have this access. So the most interesting by far is ASREProasting, right? So let's start there. Let's say ASREProast. You can also do this with netexec. It's whatever you prefer, really. So hack academy.local 10.02.4. This is the domain controller. User list is going to be users. And then the output can be hashes.exe. That's fine. And there we go. We can see that the ADS user, the one that the BloodHound told us is vulnerable. If you also want to as well, I'll show you how to do it with the netexec. So you do LDAP against the domain controller specifically. Instead of lfaster, you want the user list. Like so. Password put to empty. And then do -k for curb roast. And then this is first going to check if anyone is, let's say, I think I need a DNS server as well. There we go. And it's going to tell us as well. Account vulnerable to ASREProasting. But it's not until you actually write ASREP and then the hash that you want that it's going to output it. So there you go. Cat hash. And then we have the hash, right? So let's try and crack this. This is the normal ASREP, so we don't have to specify anything here. It's going to be easily detected. And awesome. So let me just make some simple notes along the way. So ASREP cracked and got these creds. If there are any credentials. It's gonna be this. All right. So we have this. One thing that I like to do, we should definitely, of course, check all of the credentials against all of the different protocols we have available, right? So we have the checklist inside of these notes as well, in case you just want to use them and make sure that you've checked everything. Okay. Now, if you enjoy how I teach and you enjoy this video and you want to take the OSCP, then what are you doing not being in this course? It's over 15 hours long and it covers everything that you need. If you're only watching the videos on YouTube, you're missing out a lot because it's over 15 hours of content. You will get access to the VIP section on Discord where you can ask me any questions and you can study alongside all the other students in our course. Right now, you will also get access to this checklist right here, which will cover at least 95% plus of all the attacks and all the techniques that you need to know for every single section. Not only initial access, but AD, pivoting, Linux, and Windows privilege escalation. And the goal for you is to reach proficient or at least basic competence on all of them. That's one of the things. We also have this entire roadmap right here, where there's a bunch of action steps and a bunch of cheat sheets inside all of these hyperlinks that I can't show you in this video. But once you have completed all of them, you know for a fact that you will be ready to get into the OSCP exams and absolutely crush it. If that sounds interesting to you, to get all of this in 15 hour plus of video footage of someone who has OSCP, who explains different attacks and techniques and methodologies, it's going to be invaluable to you. Now, some people are confused what they offer. If you're interested in the notes, these are the notes that you will constantly see me use in the videos, right? They're pretty much recommended to go hand in hand with the course, and I use them constantly in the course itself, right? So I think you'll find it extremely useful. That's also why we have the third offer, which is the bundle, where you can buy both of these together for a discount. I hope that clarifies things. Best of luck on your OSCP journey. I really hope this will be massively useful to you. I'll see you in the next video.